Hey, it's your girl Phinsanity here on TD Fins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. And first of all, I want to say congrats to you, TD, for getting to 5,600. I know that was a major goal for you. Keep up the good work, keep growing, and if you need anything, I'm here for you. First and foremost, before I even talk about anything Dolphin related, let me do something real quick. Fins Nation! It is time to rise up. It is time. I have my flag around me. I got my TD Fins shirt on. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to talk to you guys. Let's go. Okay. So what am I going to talk about? Well, let's be honest. There's only one thing anyone wants to talk about today, and that is what to expect when expecting the Dolphins playing the Ravens this Sunday. Correct? Right. And what do I expect to happen, and what are my keys to the game? Okay. Well, first of all, I'm a Dolphins fan through and through. So we coming out with that win. We're coming out with a win, and I'm going to explain to you how we can come out with a win as long as we do three key things, okay? Three key things. First and foremost, discipline, defense. I was going back and I was watching, some games and some highlights of Lamar Jackson. And I know everybody says, oh, he's from that area. The heat's not going to affect him. He should be fine. He should be okay. And I'm a firm believer, well, just because you grew up in something doesn't mean, that your body still could just regulate itself back to it, especially when you haven't been there for a while and played in it in a consistent basis. But this is what I say when disciplined defense. Lamar Jackson, for what it's worth, can fill out a pocket very well. He sees guys coming. He knows how to step away. He knows how to step up. He knows how to get out. He knows how to make you guys chase him. And even the Chargers did something very important. And this is what we're going to do. And this is how I love correlating what we did in the preseason and bringing it into the season, okay? So, what the Chargers did was they sent four. Every down, we're going to send four, and we're going to basically try to collapse the pockets with the guards and push the guards back into Lamar. And then everybody else is playing coverage. Now, I'm all for that because I also saw Lamar, when it was time for him to throw the ball down the field, he was really kind of trying to wait to see who would get open before he threw the ball. He understands the fact that I can't, go out here and, create turnovers and make it harder on my defense, not to allow the other team to put up points. So he's very smart in all of that. So how disciplined is our defense going to be, one, in the pursuit? Because when teams over pursue Lamar will welcome the pressure. But as soon as you give him one hole or one lane, he's out. And that only comes from over pursuing. So this is where I understand where you say, oh, well, Kiko was freelancing too much, so we had to, let him go. Well, that makes sense because if Kiko was supposed to be covering the area and now we have, our guys, pushing up, but then Kiko tries to backdoor something or gets out of it and Lamar sees that area is open and he runs into it, starts running through it, well, we're going to be like, well, whose area is that? We're like, oh, it's Kiko. Well, where is Kiko? Oh, Kiko was 10 yards behind Lamar. So I understand why they're saying, we have to be disciplined. Also, how effective are we when we do pull the trigger and try to blitz? Are we still able to cover our men in man-to-man as well as we have in preseason? Are we good with the tackling? Are we not allowing running backs to get over 4.8 yards? Because that was our average last year, if you guys didn't know. Running backs, we gave up 4.8 yards per play on average. Also, last year we had 7 wins. 7, you can count them. You can go back and check and double check that. Out of those 7 games, 6 of those games, we had 2+ turnovers. We had 2 or more turnovers on defense. Are we able to force Lamar Jackson maybe into a a fumble, if we get a hit on him, or if we can collect the pocket and maybe hit the ball out of his hand. Is Jerome Baker able to, show a blitz and recover, and where he thinks he has a quick slant, maybe with Snead or with Hollywood or any of the other wide receivers, he steps back and gets back in that hole and gets an interception, because Jerome has really good hands. Like, let's be honest, Jerome has really good hands. I remember the pick six he had last year, and I was just like, yes, let's go. All right. So how disciplined is this defense? We expect X to do his job on his side with Rowe. What is that matchup going to be with whoever he's playing against? Is he going to need safety help on the top? Or are we going to be able to say, hey, Bobby or Rashad, what if you can kind of come down in the box so we can, really force the issue that we want Lamar to be, and step back drops or, throwing the football. That we don't want the Ravens to feel like, hey, we're gonna, they're not heavy up front. They're not heavy in the box. So we're gonna see if we can pick up, a quick 3 or 4 yards on first down. Also, one thing we saw last night was how, because the Chicago Bears defense was on the field so much, they got tired. Now, my thing is like this. Even though they were tired, they still didn't give up a lot of points. And you would think a team like that, a team that didn't play, much, the starters didn't play much, and, the preseason, because they knew what they had. Which defense is going to have the more discipline, late quarter, fourth quarter execution? Who is going to still want to hit in the fourth quarter when they're tired and they're drained and it feels like, man, this sun is bearing down on us. I really don't want to have to make this tackle. You know what, guys? Listen, we're going to need to gang tackle this. Who is still going to, be able to pull up, that fourth quarter stop? Because with the speed that both of these offenses have, it is really going to come down to a fourth quarter showdown of which defense does not break. Which defense shows the most discipline and does not break. And I cannot, stress this so much. The Miami Sun is very different. It is very different on that field. If you are a fan, I promise you, don't ever, I know it may be cheaper. It is not worth going to sit in that sun for 3 hours. It is not worth it. I would definitely say get on the home side, because that shade and just having, that extra fresh, like the extra breeze and fresh air where it doesn't feel like something's trying to suck the life out of you would be so important. And I would not be surprised if the Dolphins, try to push the run game issue. And then once that defense gets tired, cue, Albert Wilson, throw the ball up to Devontae. Maybe bring Preston in on some, quick comeback routes or go routes, or post routes. Or maybe even, hey, Jakeem, we're going to run a quick reverse to you and see if these linebackers still have the energy to, get to that sideline, and try to beat you out to that sideline. So, disciplined defense. That is the first key. Second key, do we have the ability to kill the momentum? There will be plays where Lamar Jackson uses his feet and, gets a nice chunk of yards, or, completes a pass. Do we stop it there? Or do we allow this momentum to keep building? Because in the past, what the Dolphins were doing is it'd just be, a pass to a tight end, and then it would keep growing and it'd be another pass to a tight end. Oh, then they're running and it's like a 10-yard run. And we're like, can't the defense just tackle just one play? Third down. Oh, we're just going to throw it to the tight end right there. Do we have the ability to kill the momentum right there? Once they have a big play, we lock right back in mentally and say, okay, we'll talk about it real quick. Hey, what happened? All right, now we're moving to the next play. But hey, next time you see this guy come in or you see this formation, be aware of this. How do we communicate after a big momentum play? Because believe me, the one thing that they are going to test first is the Miami Dolphins run defense. That, I promise you, they are going to try, because if they know they can go out and run the ball on us, they may say, hey, Lamar, listen, last year they weren't a good run defense. We're going to, try to pound them out real quick, and then, maybe in third down situations, we might let you pass the ball if it's in a passing situation and we need you to make, that one throw. But it'll also, open up, the play action for you in Hollywood, maybe in the third quarter. On our first drive, we run a real hard play action, but, we're going to need you to be ready at that time to, get the ball down the field to Hollywood. You feel me? So, can we kill the momentum? Killing the momentum to me means making that tackle, not making a play worse than what it has been. Because how many times have we had, a runner stopped or a wide receiver stopped, but they break a tackle, or we don't tackle correctly the fundamental way, and they break out, and now they're getting an extra 5 or 10 yards, and now they're like, first down, and we're all like, are you kidding me? It was third and 14, and we had them stop 5 yards short, but because we didn't tackle, they got a first down. So that's what I mean by killing the momentum. Don't make the plays worse than what they already are. I do expect the Ravens to be able to run the ball. I do expect them to be able to pass the ball to a certain extent. It comes down to our tackling. How well do we tackle? How well do we, get after the ball? Do we sacrifice our bodies when a ball is loose? Or do we allow them to recover? Okay? So that's that. Third thing, and as you guys have seen, the first two things were defensive. Third thing, and these kind of correlate to me together. Special teams and offense. Because depending on how our offense plays is going to be how often we see our special teams unit out on the field, correct? I'm pretty sure we all can agree. If the team gets a 3 and out, then the special teams has to go down and, cover a punt. Or if the offense moves the ball to their side of the field and, Jason Sanders has a chance to, give us 3 points on the yard, are we very much disciplined to get the block so he can get the kickoff? Because believe me, the Ravens will be coming and trying to block everything. Okay, so offense. How do we move the ball? What avenue are we going? Are we going to a balanced offense where we run and pass? Are we going run heavy? Or are we going pass heavy? I say whatever is working, beat it like a dead horse until it works no more. How many times have the Dolphins been running the ball down a team's throat, and then the coach, who are not our coaches now, say, oh, we're going to get cute and we're just going to start passing. And we're looking like, run the ball. And we're just like, just please run the ball. Okay, it's first down, just run the ball. Why are we passing on first down? Oh, man, okay. It's 3rd and 1. Please run the ball. It's 4th and inches. Please put Cox in and run the ball. But no, we want to do some fancy, schmancy thing. Oh, yeah, we're just going to, step back and, let them blitz us heavy on and try to get this ball over all these, 6 feet linebackers. But, oh, no, he gets batted down or the guy gets sacked. No. Are we going to stick to what is working offensively? Are we? Because I am tired of seeing us have something that is working, but because we want to, outsmart the other coach instead of just keep beating them, we don't beat the dead horse. And I'm not into, animal cruelty. Like, let's get that out there. But it's a saying, beat the dead horse. Keep pressing the issue. If Drake is out there and he's getting 4 yards per carry, keep feeding him. If Balaji's out there getting 3 or 4 yards a carry, keep feeding them. Guess what? 3 plus 3 is 6. Now you're in 3rd and short. Or 4 plus 3 is 7. You're still in 3rd and short. And if they can get, an extra 3 yards on what's the name, or you can even open up the play action. Do what works. I'm not going to be mad if we do what works and then we don't come out on top. I'm not going to get mad because maybe we just got outplayed or maybe something freakish happened in the 4th quarter. But as long as we do what is working and we're putting ourselves in the best position to win and to score, I'm for it. Now, if we are in a position where we can't move the ball in the running game or the passing game, and it becomes a special teams, hoorah for us, a special teams in the defense, carrying system for us that game, I'm all for it. But let's also try to, I expect us to be physical on special teams. I expect us to get downfield. I expect us to tackle. Lemons, I'm going to need your best effort if it comes down to it. Because who knows? Maybe just seeing the guy getting downfield, now we have a fair catch instead of a guy trying to pick up an extra 4 or 5 yards on us, or possibly breaking out to a big run down there on our side of the field when we could have had them on their side of the field. Or even if we're in a position where we can, pin them down inside their own 10. That is big for our defense, because that gives them another defender. The end zone is actually another defender when you're inside the 10, because if you tackle them in the end zone, it's a safety, you get points. So it's actually technically like another defender. So we have to play disciplined defense. We have to kill momentum plays. We have to respond well when things aren't going well. And we have to find a way to flip the switch. And then even more importantly, we have to have a good, effective scheme offensively and defensively. If the Dolphins do this, they will be in the game. They will be in the game. And that's what we need. We need in the fourth quarter to be in the game. And I'm telling you, in the fourth quarter, if we are in the game and they have played in their black jerseys or in whatever jerseys, the dark purple jerseys, for 3 quarters, and now they're, all tired and worn out, we will make a play. We will either get a turnover or we will get a touchdown that will put us over the top. But all these things have to work together, guys. If one of them breaks down, the possibility and the chances of us winning also kind of break down. And you're probably thinking, oh, it's a lot easier said than done. It is a lot easier said than done. And this is why I love the takes no talent, because the things that take no talent are the things we are going to have to execute if we want to come out with, a 1-0 record, if we want to come out and beat a very talented Ravens team. People were like, well, the Ravens are talented. Yes, the Ravens are talented, but so are we. We have speed. We have big receivers. We have a finesse running back, and we also have a power running back game. We have, a shutdown corner. We have, up and coming young linebackers who have shown an ability to understand what offense they're trying to do and to negate it. So if we can somehow come together as a team, not roll over for anyone, not believe all this, we need to tank, conversation. We got this. We're 1-0, and we're on to New England. And we're on to New England. I believe that this game will be close. I hope it's low scoring. And I know you're like, well, why would you want it to be low scoring? It gives us an advantage in the fourth quarter. It really does. It gives us an over advantage that you guys don't believe. But if we go out, I would not, be upset if we go out and, put up 30 points. If we put up 30 points, I'm all for it. Fitz, let's go. I'm not going to comment on how Fitz is going to play, because none of us know how he's going to play. We could get Fitz magic or we can get Fitzpatrick, but I know Fitz obviously knows that for right now, as long as Rosen doesn't, quote unquote, know the whole offense, as our offensive coordinator said, that he kind of, has some leeway. He kind of has some time to solidify himself in a starting role on this offense. And I hope that he takes advantage of it. I hope he, takes time, to still help Josh Rosen develop and become the player that the Dolphins need for him to be in the future. But I also hope he goes out and he plays well. To say, oh, I want Fitz to play bad so Rosen can come in, is not very fan base. If you're rooting against our starting quarterback, all I want to ask you is, what are you thinking? Do you want us to win? Do you want us to look good? Or do you want people to say, oh, yeah, well, Fitzpatrick didn't really do well. If it wasn't for that Miami Dolphins defense, man. And I don't know how long that defense is going to be able to carry him, but probably not for long. They need to put the kid in way before he's ready, way before he knows the whole offense, way before we can come up with a full-on attack with our playbook and our schemes. That's all I'm saying. Let me see. I cannot wait to see the percentage of plays the Ravens blitz on us and how we respond to it. Because the Ravens are going to test this offensive line. You let go of a guy named Laramie Tunsil, and you're asking a defense like the Ravens to blitz. You're asking any team basically to blitz or send an extra defender and see how this line shows up. I believe that the Ravens will try to at first see if they can get it with a 4-man rush. Any team is going to see, what they can do. Can their 4-man rush get there? And I hope our 3 or 4-man rush can get to Lamar. But I'm pretty sure that there are going to be times they're going to blitz and they're going to test Fitz. And they're going to test this passing game and our running game. And this is why I love this matchup. Because this is a good test. This will allow Miami to, reevaluate where it needs to be and what it needs to improve on. It'll also give our offensive line a great opportunity to communicate and pick up communication, and to learn each other's, strengths and weaknesses. And all that. I'm excited to see. I'm the type of person that says, give me 5 guys that are willing to give me their best 3 to 4 seconds every play. If you are a guy on the field that is willing to give me your best 3 to 4 seconds and block, like really block, I'm all here for it. I'm all here for you, and I will, try to make sense of, the play that we're getting on the field. I see we've brought in veteran guys, we brought in big guys on the offensive line. And I absolutely, I'm excited to see how this offensive line responds to the criticism, not only from the media, but also from the fan base. Because one guy doesn't make a line. One guy does not make a line. If one guy made a line, then everybody's line would be awesome and amazing. It takes 5 to 6 guys, depending on if you have a tight end or whatever, who say, listen, I got your back, you got my back. We're going to communicate. We're going to, call out what coverage or what block scheme we need to use against what we see that's coming. We're going to point out what guys it is. Fitzpatrick is going to call out who the mic is. And we're going to see what we can put together as an offensive line unit. That's what I need. I need guys who want to go out there and block and prove all the fans wrong. Not only prove the fans wrong, but prove the media's wrong. Prove that, listen, we may not be those guys. We might not be, the big name free agent acquisitions. But one thing I can do is I can go out there and give my best to this team and give my best to my brothers on this line and, pick up maybe where they fall. And I hope, I'm not saying first quarter we got to what's the name, but as long as I can see some offensive line adjustments being made, I can dig it. I can get behind that. It's about the adjustments we make. That's what this game is going to be about. It's going to be very much about adjustments, seeing what's being thrown and how do we respond. One thing we always said was that we never made adjustments last year. And we came out with 7 wins. Couple of those, couple wins were taken away from us because of some play and some coaching. So if you're telling me a team that went out and did not make adjustments still had the potential to have a winning record last year. What can we do this year? We can do so much more, and I'm not putting a cap or a ceiling on this. People want to know my record. I'm on record with going in 11-5, 11-5, 11-5, 10-6. That's where I'm at. I'm looking at our schedule right now. Ravens, I hope we win. We have the Patriots, Cowboys, Chargers. Those are some really good games. At least we'll have some very entertaining games. For what it's worth, we have a very entertaining schedule this year. We're not playing, teams where you're like, oh yeah, the Dolphins are going to win. Every game that we play this year will be a game where if we win, we had to earn that win. None of these games are give me wins. Not even within our own division. Not a single game on the schedule. People might say, oh, the Giants is a give me. But I believe the Giants are going to, go out and ball hard, especially against us at home. But none of these games on the schedule are like, oh, yeah. But everyone, when they look at us, they're saying, oh, the Dolphins are just going to give it to them. Dolphins are just going to, what's the name? Bow down. If you really think your team is going to sit down and lay down and go 0-16, you've been listening to the media too long. And I don't know what else to say to you, man. That's a hard way to live as a fan, to think that your team is just going to lose every single game. I don't know how you get excited for the season. I don't even know why you would want to watch football if you think your team is going to lose every single game. Or would you say, well, I'm a fan, so I'm going to watch. No, you're an observer. You're an observer. Well, no, I'm a realistic fan. No, you're an observer. If you're any person who says that their team is going to go out and lose every single game, and they don't think that their team has the ability to fight and to win at least one, is an observer. And if you think we're going 0-16 and you don't think we can beat the Giants, that's just pitiful. And if you don't think we can beat the Bengals, then I don't know what you expect, because we have the Bengals beat that's dead to rights until a couple momentum plays that we did not kill put the Bengals right back in the game, just like that. And if you want to know why you need to kill momentum, go back and watch the Bengals game. Look how we literally were running and passing all over the Bengals, just moving the ball up and down the field. And they made one defensive play to kill our momentum, and we were never able to pick it back up. I think Kenyon came back and got like a touchdown or something. But then after that, their defense said, we're going to kill this. And they sure enough did. Jesus, if you don't know the power of making adjustments defensively, go back and watch that Bengals game and look how the game was night and day between the first half and the second half. Oh, man. Any other points I want to make? Oh, yes. To Ron. Tomorrow is your birthday, I believe. So happy birthday. Because I don't know if TD's going to be on tomorrow. And to Rip. Happy birthday, son. I hope you love the shirt. You look amazing in it. Your birthday's on Sunday. Rip's birthday is on Sunday, so happy birthday to him. If there are any more birthdays, happy birthday to you all. Welcome to the 2019-2020 Dolphin season. We're going to shock the world, and we're going to shock the fans. We're going to shock the fan base, and we're going to shock the media, because we can literally start 3-0. If we were to start 3-0, they would still find a reason not to talk about us. They still wouldn't talk about us. They would wait for the one game where we lose, maybe where we just get caught, sleeping and we lose. Oh, here goes the Dolphins losing. Here it goes. And the tank begins. No. I know we're not tanking so much. I will make a deal. I will make a deal with all of you. If it can be proven that the Dolphins purposely tanked without a reasonable doubt, that the Dolphins were trying to tank this season, I will rent a dunk tank and allow you guys to come throw balls in it to dunk TD. Oh man, that's my brother. That's my big bro. But no, this is your girl, Phinsanity 5, here on TD Fins Talk, home of the Real Miami Dolphins. Are we going to get this win on Sunday? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Going out and winning these games like this. Winning the games that they don't think or expect you to win. Winning the games when the whole league has left us to die. It's crazy how we're the one they want to say we're tanking so bad. They have left us out as roadkill. They have left us out for the vultures. But we will be some phoenixes and we will rise from the ashes that they have tried to lay us down in. I am so excited for this season. I am ready to prove everyone wrong who thought that this Dolphins team had no substance and no heart and no fight. Because if you say a team is tanking, you're basically saying they have no heart, they have no fight, they have no will. These are grown men that are going out and paying for their names on their back. And they're not laying down and rolling over for anyone. And this team, this flag, this franchise is not rolling over for anyone. I hope I see you guys in February at the end of the year at the Super Bowl 2020, where these Miami Dolphins will be fighting for their first Super Bowl in over 20 years. Let's go!